Hello, today I'm going to show you how to write an HTTP interceptor in Angular that sends authorization token to a backend. So first, let's take a look how the application works. We have a main page where the whole content of this page is fetched from the backend. And now, if you try to navigate to the dashboard, the app sends the second request to our backend to get posts for logged in user. But as you can see, we get authorization error because we are not signed in. But even after logged in, we still get unauthorized error when we access the dashboard. Why? Because we don't send any information about current logged in user, so the backend rejects the request. In our post service, we have a very simple method to get posts for the logged in user. However, we are not adding any authorization header there. We can do this by manually adding the header, but the better solution is to use HTTP Interceptor. How we can do this? In app config, we have to provide HTTP client by using provide HTTP client function and add with interceptor feature where we can define our interceptors. In core directory, we have 3 versions of the interceptor. Let's start with version 1. In this interceptor, we inject the auth state service, and if the user isn't logged in, we skip adding the header. But if the user is logged in, we clone the request and add authorization header with the token from the auth state. But there is a catch. This interceptor adds the token to every request, even those that don't require it, like fetching the main page content. It's not secure as it could expose the token unnecessarily. So you have to create some kind of whitelist where we will define to which requests we should add auth token. Let's check the version number 2. The interceptor checks if the request URL is in the whitelist, and if it is, the header is added. Thanks to that, the problem has been fixed. The token is not added to get the main page content anymore. As you can see, this version is more secure, but there is still a risk. If the whitelist matches the endpoint by mistake, we might send the token unnecessarily. Also, each time when we create a new endpoint, we have to remember to extend our whitelist. So when the version 2 is not acceptable, then we should use the version number 3. In this version, we use HttpContextToken to explicitly mark which requests need an auth token. Here is how it works. In the interceptor, we check if the request has add bearer token context, and when it's true, then we add the bearer token. Now, we need to add this context to all requests which need authorization token. In getPosts method, we need to pass the special context flag, which add bearer token set as true. This approach is much more cleaner and safer because the interceptor doesn't rely on URL matching, so it removes guesswork. And authorization is only added when explicitly requested via context. Now, when we open the dashboard, the request has the token and the main page content doesn't have. So it looks like it works as expected. That's all for today. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.